Alrighty, so this is a new intro skip tutorial, 2024 update. I am making this because it seems as though there is still some confusion within the community as to how this skip even works. So I'm going to try and explain it and break it down as much as possible within this video. So I'm going to start by playing through the game casually and trying to explain what exactly is happening while, like, sort of in the background. So in this first area, nothing's happening. I'm just going to skip these frills, they don't matter. And the first event doesn't happen until we get over here. I'm going to let Sly and Shazza catch up. The first event doesn't happen until we kill these 5 frills who are attacking the thermal bunyip. Once we kill these 5 frills, the second area begins loading in. Right once we finish killing all 5 of them. And we know it's finished when Shazza starts talking. And they'll start moving as well. You'll notice, I should explain this real quick, they were standing around here. They stopped moving once they got to this point, and they started back up once the next area was loaded in. The wall of fire goes away, and the area is now loaded in. So next, once we get to a location somewhere around here,
look out! Cannon eddies!
somewhere around here, the game is going to go through the process of deloading the previous area, which is now covered by a wall of fire, and loading in the next area. That way, we don't perceive any loading zones. A clever little bit of coding from the developers. And this wall of fire will actually spawn in as soon as Ty, Sly, and Shazza have passed a point that's somewhere around here. Once all 3 of them have passed that point, the wall of fire spawns in. That way, once it's deloaded, you don't go back and see, oh, there's a giant fucking black void. What's up with that? Anyway, I digress. So, in order to get that, the first step of this skip, get the wall of fire to not spawn in. That way we can go out of bounds. Well, in order to get the wall of fire to not spawn in, we have to make sure Sly or Shazza do not pass that point I was talking about that's somewhere around here. And we can do that by sort of breaking their AI. Sly and Shazza, you'll notice, not only do they follow you, but they take a very specific line. They're quite literally on rails. Okay? And they hit checkpoints. The very first checkpoint that they hit is that spot in the previous area where they stopped. Remember how they just completely stopped moving and then started back up once the next area was loaded in? We want to make them stop there forever. Well, how do we do that? We can do that. We can do that by making it to where they never hit that checkpoint in the first place. If they never hit that checkpoint, then the game doesn't... Well, let me explain. That they never hit that checkpoint before the next area loads in. There we go. Getting ahead of myself. If they don't hit that checkpoint before the next area loads in, the game will never think that they hit that checkpoint, so once they get there, they stop. And they stop completely, they stop moving. If for some reason you start running backwards, they'll follow you, but they won't ever pass that checkpoint. And because they don't ever pass that checkpoint, what'll happen is once you deload that area, there'll be a giant black void because the wall of fire doesn't spawn in. So I'm going to get that to happen. You can get it to happen fairly consistently with this method. Follow my movements very closely. We'll talk about opal count after this. I'm not going to be worrying about my opal count as of right now. Now watch this. 1, 2, 3, turn around. 4, 5. Keep going. Run over here, specifically over here near this hill. And you'll notice Sly comes back. He comes back. Because he never hit his checkpoint, and he wants to follow you. Because he wants to follow you, and he never hit that checkpoint, he will turn around and come back. And now that he's hit that checkpoint, the game is confused. The game is very confused. Sly is now stuck. We can continue going this way. The wall of fire doesn't spawn in. By now the wall of fire should be there. It's not there because Sly has not caught up. Now we hit that next loading zone. The next area loads in. This area deloads. Look, a giant void. And now we're going to go over here. We're going to jump, bite, and what happened there, we're actually on water right now. So they put water in the creek, and they just extended it out pretty far. And if we go backwards, you'll get to a point where you'll just fall out of the map, but a failsafe, you'll hit fire, and it'll throw you back up here. And because we bite, because we do a bite into the water, we actually keep our forward momentum, which is why we sort of launch forward. And if you get it just right, somewhere around here, you'll actually launch all the way into this cutscene trigger.
To get to the other side of the bridge.
Now, what happens after this cutscene trigger, let's just skip it. We respawn right here, look at that. But the bridge is still there. The bridge is supposed to be blown up by now. If you've played the game before, you know that. Well, have no fear, lone gamer. All you have to do is get in the battle bunyip. Head over here, and the vast majority of the time, it'll blow up. And then you can blow up these cars, and this little bit of platform is actually already here, even though it takes a second, as you saw, for it to actually, the visual object to appear. The physical object is there. Now, I said most of the time that happens. Well, that's because sometimes the bridge doesn't blow up. And I am still yet to figure out why that is the case, unfortunately. But what I will tell you is that you should not panic if that happens. Your run is not dead. You simply lost 2 seconds due to RNG. If you stand underneath the bridge, somewhere around here, while it's still spawned in, and do a ground pound by hitting the B button, it'll blow up the bridge anyway. Okay, so that's the skip. It saves about 20 seconds. And because it only saves about 20 seconds, I don't recommend new runners to just jump right into this, because it is frustrating to figure out. It takes a while to sort of get the rhythm down, and then what takes even longer than that is being able to get a decent opal count out of that first area as well, on top of getting that rhythm. Because of that, you'll reset very often. Even I reset very often on intro skip, and I don't recommend it for new players. You probably shouldn't start doing it until you have about a 109 on PC, a 115 on new console, or a 125 if you're playing old console. People still even have those. Anyway, the last part about this is the opal count. We're going to talk about any percent here. The other categories are different. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So with any percent, the ideal amount to leave that first area with is going to be 1,300 opals. 1,400 is safe. You won't have to worry about opals at all. 1,200 is risky, but you can do it. You just have to get a lot of extra opals on the ninja fight, which is up to RNG, essentially. Alright, so let's go back in it. This time, I'm going to explain how to get a high amount of opals in this first area. I'll start by explaining what you should not do. What you should not do is worry about these first couple of frills. Watch how many opals I'm going to get out of this first area. I got not even 300 opals. Okay? Why did I not get that many opals? That looked like a lot of opals, especially when you consider later on I'm going to grab about the same amount of opals, but it's going to be 1,300? How does that make any sense? Well, it's because there's a combo system. And the combo goes all the way up to 20 times. And what the times means is that is the multiplier on every individual opal you collect. You collect one individual opal and you have a 10 times combo, you collect 10 opals. And all the way up to 20. 20 is the max. So, the idea is you want to get your combo up to 20 as fast as possible. And try not to collect too many opals. Alright, so Sly made it because I wasn't actually doing, wasn't doing the skip. hit the 20 times. I kind of messed up. So yeah, I only got 900. That would have been a reset. Let's do it again. This time I'm not going to be an idiot, and I'm just going to focus on the opals like I said I would instead of trying to do the skip as well. So we're just going to run right past these first frills, because we're not going to be able to keep our combo between them and this next group of frills, no matter what we do. So you'll notice you'll get around, ooh, I got a 15 times combo, that's really high. You hit that frill, hit those two, you keep your combo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're all the way up to 20 now. Keep your combo by continuing to attack frills. Notice how I'm not really picking them up yet.
That's the last of the frills, Possum.
And look at that, 1,400 opals. Easy. Easy. And I can do that consistently. The problem is, can I do that consistently? You'll notice the wall of fire is going to spawn in. There it goes. Can I do that consistently and also get intro skip consistently? That's the hard thing. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just loaded a 100% file. Oopsie. Let's try it real quick. This will also just be another good demonstration. You know, the exact path you want to take when trying to do the skip. Notice I'm hugging this wall as hard as possible. I want to get, particularly Sly, we want to get as far ahead of him as possible. He's the easy one to get stuck. 1, 2, 3, turn around. 4, 5. Don't worry about those opals. You don't need them.
That's the last of the frills, Possum.
Alright, that's not a good enough opal count, unfortunately. See what I mean? That it's pretty tricky to get both of them in tandem. Oh, come on. Alright. Stupid ass log. Okay, anyway.
Cannonetties.
Let me at him.
Oh my god. There we go. Boom. And that's basically it. Okay. So, hopefully that explains everything that needs to be done for intro skip. I understand this is very confusing. Maybe you're left with more questions than answers. Well, let me tell you, if you are left with more questions than answers, well, that's just fine, because you can find me on Discord, same name as my YouTube channel, on the Ty the Tasmanian Tiger speedrunning Discord. You'll find me, Inspection Squid. Just send me a message, and I'll try to clear up any confusion. Alright, that's it. Bye-bye.